$70,000 we had put aside for paying for the public works building. So that's kind of showing the reduction there. We're spending the money on these items this year, so we get that money in, we'll have to use reserves necessarily. And then we also got a revision on the stormwater assessment, a little bit higher on page 5, about middle of the page. That went from 109 to 106,000.
So we're getting some funds from FEMA to help us build that building for public works, is that it?
We're getting the money in the same year as we're building the building, so we're not pulling from reserves to pay for that building.
Okay.
Instead, we're going to use that FEMA money that comes in, but we're essentially spending from reserve this year to pay for the fixing buildings.
Okay.
So,
In other words, we can do the job without depleting our reserves as much as we want to.
we're kind of, yes, we're reducing the amount we're using next year because we're spending some of it this year.
Oh, okay.
Anything else?
That was pretty much it. The stormwater change, I just pulled that from our maintenance line item. So it's just $4,000.
Okay, I've looked through this line by line 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really find anything I can make a real good argument against, so I mean, I tried to find something that justify coming here again, but I really don't have anything that I see is needing
I'm with
changes.
Steve. I went 5 lunch periods looking at this stuff last week, and I was happy with it. Grant?
I did about the same thing. I wanted to see more money put towards equipment and stuff like that replacement, but there's nowhere to pull it.
Yeah.
Without taking it away from something else, you know. I'm big on wanting to put into reserves as much as we can, but we've already made some efforts to put into, on page 13 on the equipment replacement. And so we've made a couple attempts to put into put some money back in. I would like to see more, but you know, there isn't the ability to put in more that I saw.
Yeah, I saw lots of things I would like to see higher, but I couldn't see anything anywhere to take it from, so.
And yeah, and then we got another equipment price on page 17. We're putting aside some more money there for equipment replacement. And, you know,
So there's $25,000 between Public Works and the fire department being put into reserves to pay for future equipment. Above and beyond that, we can probably expect that our investment income will be a bit higher, and that money will go right into reserve as well. So,
And I will continue to try to underspend.
Yeah, in the past, we talked about what equipment was due to be replaced. The fire engine was one, the slope mower. And what about the Grado? Is it
It's on page 17.
represented here on page 17?
Yeah, this is.
I missed that.
Half of the cost, or
Yeah.
a third?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, I do see it now.
6541,
541, 6400, yes.
I do have a question for Doug. What would happen with our other grade all?
I'm sorry?
What will happen with, like, once we get our new grade all? Are we going to sell the old grade all, or scrap it, or what? Or use it for parts?
Well, the parts are interchangeable, they're 2 different machines. We may keep it for a time period to see, just as a backup, until we get comfortable with the new machine. The value of the machine appears to be about $5,000.
That's it?
That's it. So we would probably, we've had pretty good success with Iron Planet. We've gotten rid of almost all of the used equipment that we no longer need or isn't inoperable in the yard. We've sold one set of tires twice. So hopefully we'll sell them a third time and recover all of our money. So
These customers know their part.
I would say at some point the used Great Owl will just be auctioned off.
Does currently function.
Wondering if we were gonna
It's
put
currently functional?
maintenance
Currently
money.
functional as far as
More or
I'm
less.
concerned.
There's no maintenance money in our budget to help the present Great Hall.
No,
Yeah, okay. That's
I
what I was
don't
getting.
believe so.
If you decide to auction, there is a corporation that their business is to auction off municipal equipment.
Right, it's a division of Ritchie Brothers. It's called Iron Planet. And Ritchie Brothers arguably is the largest auctioneer of municipal equipment in the world. They're pretty successful, and they've done a good job for us.
So we would want to continue using that service.
I'm sorry?
That your projection is that we should continue using that service based on your experience with them?
Absolutely.
My only question would be this. You pretty much said before that the only reason that anybody would want to buy the old Great All is basically for parts. Pretty much.
That's a pretty fair statement.
Yeah, so,
However, the old, just as an example, we salvaged the John Deere mower that the other slope mower was on.
right.
The slope mower, the arm on it was badly cracked, had been repaired, cracked, repaired, and so on and so forth. The hydraulics were functional to a degree, and lo and behold, somebody bought the thing. Now, what they're gonna do with it is beyond me, but at least we made money on the auction for it.
Well, what I was gonna ask you is
So-
if we continue to use the old Great All for whatever purpose, and eventually, you know it's gonna break on us again,
Oh, absolutely.
is that gonna seriously diminish the value of it? So should we even try to do such a thing?
I would say that's a yes. The problem is, let's say the machine is worth $5,000.
And it breaks.
And
Yeah.
if something is damaged on it, for example, we just repaired a cylinder on it that was $3,500 cost to repair it. So at that point, it would, I think what Public Works is concerned is they want to get the new machine in, see if it works, and feel comfortable with it. And then I don't see any problem in trying to dispose of the other Great Old.
Yeah.
It's larger, it doesn't fit our town as well as the new one will. But it's not a machine that you can drive down I-95. It's just not designed for that, but then our town doesn't need a machine like that. That would have cost the town another $100,000 for something that we don't need.
I'm just suggesting that we sell it while it still works.
Well, couldn't disagree with that for a moment, but what I'm offering in exchange is, let's get the new one in here, see how it works before we dispose of this one. And I think as soon as Public Works feels comfortable with the new one, and there's really no reason to use the old one. We have a new machine that works, that has a warranty associated with it. So I would agree and would urge Public Works to, let's get this thing auctioned off. It's just one more piece of scrap metal sitting in our yard that we don't need.
We have focused on basically a very few pieces of equipment, major pieces of equipment. What about the not so major ones? Lawnmowers or the backhoe in the yard, that type of thing. Are they okay as they are?
Yes, we had a couple of zero turns that we auctioned off. They were long past their usefulness. One of them didn't run at all, and the other one was marginal. We bought, in 2015-2016 fiscal year, we bought two new, or one 15-16, one 16-17. I'd have to double check that. But we bought two new zero turns, and they're in good shape, and I would say that they will keep the town in mowing ability for the next several years.
Is
Plus-
two of them enough?
Pardon?
Is two of them enough?
Yes, the other thing that we're going to do is send the John Deere that we took the slope mower off. It needs another hydraulic system on it, and we can put the gang mower on it, and that will allow us to reduce the need for the zero turns. Say if we want to mow a right of way, instead of running 2 zero turns down to cover the width, the gang mower is wide enough in most cases to do it in one pass. Plus, it'll, when the grass gets 3 feet high, it'll add through there without the issue that the zero turns have. So that's just a maintenance item. We have the mower, we have the John Deere tractor. We just need to get another hydraulic circuit on
Repair this thing and replace the whole hydraulics.
it. It just needs another, pardon?
To be added to it.
It needs to be added to it. A hydraulic circuit needs to be added to it. I would anticipate that to be maybe $2,500, $3,000. That would give us a large capacity mower that would be able to be used behind it.
You got anything, Dan? Anything else? No. Dick? Nothing? Laura?
Yeah, I just have something that the public still is concerned about is in Public Works.
What page?
Same page, the one that we've been on, 17. So I did a public record in December, and we were all up with a strong Public Works crew. And so the expectation was the maintenance to be done in January, and it wasn't until, I can't remember if it was March, that I found out that the reason nothing or a lot less was being done was basically because we're down to 2 Public Works people. And so I just really still believe that making things public and keeping the public knowledge available to what's going on in Public Works is a good thing. And I see that there's an increase, like $20,000 in our proposed budget for pay. And, you know, I just wonder if we shouldn't farm out some of the, especially in January, February, when we really need some maintenance on our stormwater and those kind of things, when we should be able to catch up before our storm season.
So what are you asking?
So which,
Well, like
Which
thinking
line
that
item?
which line item are we on?
total personal services, let's just look right at that. We went from 241,000 to 263,000.
Well, you're looking at year-to-date versus proposed full year.
This was
Well,
our
our
current.
budget's actually about 25,000 less,
Less than
but
what?
we're still,
Okay, so we went down.
as you said, we're still well above what we spent so far this year, and even the year before. So,
So, I guess I'm just, okay, so that makes it look different than what I was looking at it as. But to go ahead, I do think that we really need to let the public see what is going on in Public Works and really concentrate on January, February, March being our maintenance for stormwater coming up.
Mr.
The
Chairman,
winter time, when
I
it's
agree.
dry.
I agree. We were a little bit late this year.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dick.
I've had conversations with 2 of my constituents on some of this, saying someone also do ask, what do the Public Works people do? The only one they ever see is the man driving the slow mower. He's the most obvious. And befriending, I mean, you know, my wife takes him out a bottle of water until he comes down the road there. And, everybody knows Felix's name, but there are a lot of workers there whose jobs aren't quite that obvious. I think what we as a council need to do, the Public Works Director answers in the chain of command to the town administrator. The town administrator, remember, we've set up a program here where we do not have a town manager, we have an administrator who follows the direction of the council and administers what we express as our desires to be done. I think this council needs to, over a period of once a quarter at least, project what we would like to see that particular body do during the upcoming 3 months? What would we'd like to see them accomplish? And then judge their performance, not by any one individual, but by, did the job that we wanted done get done? We haven't really been doing that. We haven't given any guidelines to the town administrator or to the public works director about what should be accomplished other than don't mow the sides of the roads. I mean, we need to get more involved in that direction if we're gonna have an administrator. If not, then we need to get a manager. And I don't think this town is right for a manager per se.
Okay. It appears to be about a man and a half load of labor this year. So, if we had had that man and a half, we would have been up to our budgeted. So that's why we need to keep the 263, because it's still lower than
We
what
need
we
more
had
good
last
people
year.
in that department.
We still need 2 people, for
Yeah.
sure. So I'm okay with